I think we can all agree that when it comes to the world of football, we have a definitive big three brands, especially in the US and Europe. We get Nike, Adidas, and Puma. And now within that big three, we can also pretty much guarantee there is a big two, and that is Adidas and Nike. But Puma are looking to change all that and break the stranglehold that Nike and Adidas have on the football boot industry right now. How are they planning to do that, and why might this actually work? I'm James, welcome to BootWizard Boot Reviews, and let's break down how Puma as a brand are outmaneuvering Nike and Adidas and growing at a rate that those two brands cannot keep up with, and how that is potentially going to lead to Puma breaking into that top two and making themselves a force in the football boot industry. So Puma, similarly to Under Armour, are a publicly traded company. You can buy and sell shares in Puma. Now, what that means for us and why that's important for this video is because that means Puma have to announce their annual yearly earnings. So every year they have to come out and they're beholden to their shareholders. They have to say, this is how much money we earn, this is how well the company is doing, and they have to project how well they think they're going to do in the year that is to come. Puma have just done this. They have just announced their 2019 full year earnings report, and the most important top line figures that we need to know are that Puma delivered sales in excess of 5.5 billion, showed growth of 18.4% as a company, and delivered double-digit growth in every single one of their categories, including football. In doing this, Puma surpassed even their own projections, which they had already raised twice in 2019, and they managed to come out with an earnings per share amount of $1.76. Now, if that doesn't mean much, if you want a comparison, again referencing that Under Armour video I made the other day, they are currently in a bit of a slump, experiencing a lot of problems, and they are projecting earnings per share for 2020 at only 13 cents. So you do the math on the difference there. So putting that all together, the headline is 2019 was the best year in Puma's history ever. But we're talking about football boots here. We're talking about our industry, what we're interested in. How is that and those figures going to translate into big pushes for Puma football and Puma to advance and be able to get in where Nike and Adidas dominate? The simplest way of looking at it is that, again, referencing Under Armour, they are in so much trouble at the moment that there is a real serious possibility that they will pull out of the football boot world altogether and focus on other areas that are important to their brand. With Puma, we have the exact opposite. Because they're delivering so much and they're doing so well, there's a real serious chance that they will be able to invest more into both their product design, their product promotion, and the affiliations that they have to make Puma an even bigger force within the football boot industry. We've already seen this start to happen and pay off in 2019. Puma firstly took the very lucrative Man City kit deal, so they now everywhere around the world, when you see Man City shirts, they have the Puma logo on the front. And for a huge club that Man City are now, Champions League, that is amazing exposure for Puma, but they haven't stopped there. They expanded their player profile within that club. They've got Sergio Aguero, they expanded to David Silva. At the time, they had Vincent Kompany switch over as well, and Pep Guardiola is now a Puma brand ambassador along with Thierry Henry. These are huge names. And then when you take the most recently released Puma Spark Pack, you can really see these boots stand out on pitch because everybody else around this time of year has gone with blue and red. Puma have gone with yellow. Bright yellow. So it's very easy to spot a Puma athlete on the pitch at the moment, and if you take a look at, for example, Man United's starting lineup in a few of their recent games, 4 of their players were all rocking Puma boots. Harry Maguire has switched over, Nemanja Matic has switched over. It's a huge push from Puma and their exposure is growing. Think about Barcelona, one of the biggest clubs in the world. Their front 3, 2 of their players are rocking Puma boots, and it doesn't stop there. Those players are playing with a Puma ball. Puma have broken in to La Liga. They've taken the ball contract, the ball sponsorship away from Nike, and they're now the main face. Admittedly, they had a little problem with their winter ball, but Puma is now the brand for La Liga footballs. So Puma are competing big time with Nike and Adidas in areas that they see as key, and it's working. And none of this is luck. This is all by design. All you have to do is take a look at the other areas of Puma's business that are all succeeding. Puma have taken the idea of partnership, collaboration and exposure very seriously, and it's started to become like a real cornerstone of their brand. If we just look at football, we have the recent collaboration with the Baller fashion brand, we have an upcoming collaboration with the kids super fashion brand with Hector Bellerin in tow. And it doesn't stop there. Outside of football, Puma have partnered up with Selena Gomez, with Cara Delevingne. They're getting huge exposure from being partnered with Lewis Hamilton, the current Formula One world champion. They've also moved back into another sport, into basketball. They're doing very well. And they've recently signed the current NBA slam dunk champion, Derrick Jones. If you haven't seen that man hit a dunk, I strongly advise doing it. And upcoming, we can still look forward to Puma partnering with J. Cole, and back to football, they've also just taken the PSV Eindhoven kit deal. Things are moving for Puma. So I think for us football fans and us bootheads, none of this can be bad news. Even if you don't really like what Puma is doing, but how can you not look at that Dortmund blackout kit? Even if you don't like what Puma is doing, if they're pushing Nike and Adidas, competition breeds innovation. And whether that innovation is bad or good, I always like to see what's new, what these companies can come up with, especially when they're being pushed. For me, a big 3 is much better than a big 2, and if we can expand that over time to a big 5, we think we could be looking at some very exciting times. We've already seen Puma expand its boot lineup, which is a 2-boot lineup with the One and the Future. They've expanded that to include and bring back the Puma King, which I think its success even took Puma by surprise, as those blackout Puma Kings sold out so quickly. That is a modern leather boot that is 100% in demand. And then looking to the future and looking to the Puma Ultra. All the initial reports, the initial thoughts, and if you want to see mine, you just click up in the corner there. I did a video on that the other day. They do seem to show that Puma are ready to go toe-to-toe in the most popular category across football boots, the speed boot category. They've got the Ultra, it's going to be a speed boot, and they're gonna go toe-to-toe with the Mercurials and the X's of the world. And it feels like they are ready to do that. So do stick down in the comments what you think. Do you believe that Puma can break into that top 2 and cause some real problems for Nike and Adidas? Remember to hit the like button if you did enjoy this video, you like this type of content, because that shows me that I need to make more. And of course, if you haven't done already, do get subscribed to pick up all my other boot reviews, unboxings and playtests. But that's all from BootWizard here today. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.